went to the dark side. She thought her babies were over there.
Was she consumed by the snakes?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You just wanted to know. You just wanted to know. And now he's going to go ahead and he's going to go back into the light. You know that he loves you and he'll always be with you. And remember what he said, he needs you to focus on everyone who's alive that you're taking care of, your family, and the people who are important to you. And remember, futuristically, you're going to be very happy with a wife and 2 daughters, and that you're going to need to work for everything that you have, but you have what it takes to do it, because at one time you were a powerful master that helped masses of people survive in very dark scenarios, and you have that energy within you here and today. And now your great-grandparents are going back, and you can wave them by, and you know they're always watching you as well, and you can send them love as they leave. And now the door is turning back to the regular door to come in and out of your bedroom. Once again, you're back there, and you have your 5 fingers, and your long white hair, and your white tunic, and you're standing there, and you just had an amazing experience. And now you're going to leave that scene, and you're going to move to the very last day of your life in that body as the master, the very last day of your life. And you're just going to observe the scene. You don't have to be in it to experience it. And you're going to be there in the count of 5 on the very last day of your life. And in that scene in 5, 4, 3, halfway there, 2, almost there, and 1. What's happening in the scene?
Dark has consumed everything.
And where are you at? Have they consumed you as well?
No. But the tiger.
What's up with the tiger?
It's just me and the tiger, and it's just running behind us.
So you and the tiger are running, and the snakes are following you?
I'm on top of the tiger.
Oh, you're riding the tiger.
And we're running.
Oh, running, okay.
But the darkness just doesn't stop. It's just behind us.
They finally catch you?
No, we're still running, but it looks like there's a cliff.
But tell me what happens. I just want you to observe. Just observe.
We jumped off the cliff because we don't want to get the darkness to get us. So we jumped off the cliff.
And you don't make it after you hit the bottom, do you?
No.
And now you're in spirit. And you're calm. And you're bathed in a beautiful light where you feel very comfortable. And tell me where you are now. Now that you've passed. Has someone come to greet you?
It's just a white room.
You're in a white room. Very good. I hear the white room has a lot of tending. People who come in there and tend to the people who have just passed. And I want you to look around the room and to see if you see any doors or any entrances or exits. Because someone who loves you is going to come through and direct you to where you need to go. As you're in that white room, first just, is the tiger there with you or are you there by yourself?
It's just me.
Oh, very good. And what does your body look like? Are you still in your body or are you in a light body? What is your body like? How do you feel?
It's my same body.
Oh, very good. And are you standing there then?
Everywhere that I look is just white.
Oh, very good. Even,
everything is white.
and what about yourself there? If you hold your hands up or try to hold your hands up, just whiteness?
No, it has my same skin color. I'm wearing the white robe.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Everything is white. Everything is so bright you can't see.
But it doesn't hurt your eyes though, does it?
No.
Ah, you're in the light. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Your higher mind is in the light. And your higher mind is in that light. Your higher mind has all of the answers to everything that has ever happened to you. First, while you're there, can you ask your higher mind to take you to the healing temples where you can go through and have your body healed and your mind healed, and you can get to the answers of what has just transpired. Has the scene changed there?
It's just all white.
Ah, very good. Well, let us just speak to that bright light that you're consumed in. That very bright light. And ask the bright light. Ask first, who are you? And what is the response that you get? Who is Juan Tovar?
I just hear my echo. I just hear my voice asking, but there's no response.
Wow, very good. Now let's drift away from that scene. We're drifting and floating away from that scene. Leaving everything that you've seen, the tiger, the woman in the brown, all of the other entities and all the other beings there to continue on their journey where they will find peace. And now you are in peace. And we're leaving them there to continue on their path. Now I want all of the consciousness and personality of Juan to once again return to the body and fully integrate back into the body. May I speak to Juan's subconscious, please? May I please speak to Juan's subconscious?
Yes.
I have permission to speak to Juan's conscious?
Yes.
I respect the power of the subconscious because I know the subconscious takes care of Juan's body and does a very good job of it. I also know that the subconscious has the records of everything that has ever happened to Juan in this lifetime and all the other lifetimes that he has ever lived. So I respect the power of the subconscious, and I always ask for permission to speak to it and ask questions. Do I have permission to ask questions? I know the subconscious could have brought forth many different lifetimes for Juan to see today, but you chose to bring forward this life for him to see where he was the master. Why did you pick that lifetime?
because it would show him what he needed to do when he would go back to her.
And what he needed to do would be to do what?
To take responsibility. And be able to be a leader, to try to help people.
To take responsibility to be a leader, to help people. Very good. And what is the best way that he could take responsibility to become that leader that you've shown him?
The best way is to be humble.
To be humble.
That being a leader doesn't mean that he has to run over people.
Does he tend to run people over?
Sometimes. But that's his way of getting through things and to make something better happen.
Oh, very good. And there were a few questions that he had to ask, and yeah, I know you've given him permission to do so. The controlling tendencies that he has. Could you explain a little bit more in depth about why he's trying to control everything? That could help him out in the best way.
If he has the need to want to control everything, it's because he wants everything to come out his way. And his way of doing things or making things happen, it's in a perfect way. Make everything perfect. So he tends to control people so things can come out the way that he thinks that they're perfect.
But is what's perfect for him not so perfect for everyone else?
The only time that he could be a perfectionist is if he's trying to work on something. He understands that not everyone is perfect, but every piece of work that he does can be.
Very good. And when that place that had this dark and the snakes devouring everything, what was that representing? Is there a place that really exists like that? Or is that just a scenario that you were showing him? What type of dimension has that type of existence?
That was just showing him how things go. Sometimes the bad things want to take over the good ones. And it doesn't matter if you run away from them, they're still going to be there. Also, like, if there was bad stuff that has been done, it would just keep following you until you're gone.
Yeah, very good. And what is he running from? What is Ron running from?
he's just running from being alone.
And he feels like the loneliness is going to consume him.
Yes.
But it's not going to consume him, is it?
If he doesn't allow it to happen.
Does his beliefs make his reality and his experience by how he believes and perceives things? Can he change things with what he thinks and what he believes?
Everything can be changed. That's why he always tries so hard to fit in. That's why he feels that he needs to be the person with the most power. That's why he wants to make everything perfect.
Understood. Now he had a question about Andrew and Geraldo and Sophia. What is his connection with Andrew first?
He met him because he had a purpose in life.
He met him because he had what type of life?
He just had a purpose. The only reason that he met him was to make him realize that sometimes, no matter how much you try to do for people, they will never appreciate it.
And that was a lesson that he needed to learn, and
Yes.
no accidents, no mistakes.
Yes.
Do you foresee him being friends futuristically with Andrew, or was he just to learn that lesson and keep pushing?
No. His job is done.
Oh, very good. And what about his friend Gerardo that he's known since the 8th grade? Has he had any past life, or what's the purpose of that relationship?
The purpose was to always have someone there for him. Sometimes, whatever starts has to finish.
And was Geraldo always there for him?
Yes.
And is he still there for him as his friend?
Yes.
He needs to forgive Geraldo for Geraldo just being Geraldo.
Juan.
Repeat.
Something that doesn't come easy for Juan is to ask for forgiveness. His pride is huge, and he'll rather stop talking to someone before saying sorry.
But now that he's made his connection to his higher self, he sees that that may not be the best thing at all times. Do you think this will help him when he listens back to this message? That he can let his that Geraldo will always be there for him. That's all he has to do is forgive him and let Geraldo be Geraldo, and not someone that he needs him to, or that he wants to control him to be.
Yes.
Because Geraldo would be a good friend for life, wouldn't he?
Yes.
Is Geraldo bisexual?
Yes.
Okay. Is Juan bisexual?
No.
Very good. And what about Sophia? She has been major of late in his life. Have they had a past life, or what is the purpose of that relationship?
She has taught him many things. They are so different. Yet they complement each other in every way.
Oh, very good. Is that why he was so loyal to her when it came to the Geraldo and Andrew scenario?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Very good. And has Andrew, Geraldo, or Sophia had past incarnations with Juan in a past life before their incarnation on Earth? I know there's no such thing as the past, but in another incarnation other than Earth?
No.
Oh, very good. So they just manifest for his lessons here.
Yes.
And where do you see, he would like to know, where do you see him, or you two, or in 15 years from now? His brother told him that he'd be married with children. What about his career and his financial situation? Will the planet be much different and much better then?
That kind of stuff will only be told by time.
Oh, very good. Well, you know he asked, and I'm not asking, correct?
Yes.
Okay, very good. I told him you're only going to let him know what he needs to know. And could you actually take him to a healing chamber or to the healing temples?
Yes.
Oh, very good. And if you could show them to him in his mind's eye, and he has a desire to have his body processed. What is the heal? Could you tell me what the temples look like that he's in, and what's being done to him? Is there someone in the healing temples there to meet him, to put him through the process? Or I know you're there, but is there more or others in the temples, the healing temples?
No.
Oh, very good. And what happens here in the healing temples?
What happens here is whenever a person has an ability to heal somebody, this is where everything comes from.
Oh, beautiful. He had a desire to have his body scanned with beautiful light, and if you could tell him anything that he needs to focus on his bodies in terms of his health, could you scan his body then while you're there in the temple?
Yes.
Are you scanning his body with unconditional love? while you're scanning his body, could he ask any more questions, if you will? Is he doing okay in this session?
Yes.
He was wondering if he had anything to worry about, and I told him that he didn't. But could you tell him why it's not in his best interest to worry?
The only reason that he shouldn't worry about anything, it's because it will make his life easier. As long as he acts right and has a vision of what he wants to do or what he wants to do.
That's very profound. And he's going to remember all of these amazing suggestions and advice that you give him when he listens to the recording.
Yes.
And will he take it to heart?
Only he would be able to tell.
Very good. Very, very good. And are you still scanning his body or cleansing his body at the temple?
Yes.
Are there any things that you see that he may have to focus on in terms of making himself better, or anything of concern?
No.
But yet you're still working then?
His energy and ability to help others is really strong. Stronger than other people's. That's why he would take more light to cleanse.
Oh, very good. So you're cleansing him now then, is that correct?
Yes.
Very, very good. And is there anything that you'd like to, any more advice or any other information that you would like to share with him now, so when he goes back and he listens to this, that would help him?
He would know what to do.
Oh, very good. Now, normally when I do these sessions, I always do them for free because I really like to help as many people as I possibly can. As his subconscious self, are you familiar with Hank?
Yes.
What do you know of Hank?
You have helped him.
Excellent. That was my intent. Very, very good. And do you have any advice or suggestions that you would help Hank with in this moment of now? I open myself and my higher self to you to access what I'm going through these days. Any advice whatsoever?
You are a very strong person. Everything that you do, it has a reason and a purpose. Even though sometimes you don't know what that purpose might be. But if you come along with it, you can find that purpose.
If I come along with it, I can find the purpose of my actions.
Yes.
Could you elaborate, please?
You have a reason to do everything that you do. Everything that happens for a reason. Just like what you do.
Would you say that the things that I do are intentionally for what's in the best interest of everyone else around me and for the collective?
When you do something, you have to keep in mind that you have to look out for yourself instead of looking out for other people.
Do I have that in common with Juan?
No. What he'll rather do is to see other people happy instead of him. But you always do whatever makes you happy instead of making other people happy.
You say, I always do what makes me happy and not other people?
Before making anyone else happy.
So I do what makes me happy before I make other people happy? Is that it?
Yes.
Is that a bad thing?
No.
Well, it's relative, but...
No.
What's an example of something that I would do for myself before making someone else happy?
If you like to do something, don't stop because other people.
If I like to do something, don't stop because of other people?
Yes.
I guess I'm a little confused. Do I put other people's happiness before my own? Or I put my own happiness before others?
Put your happiness before others.
And am I thinking of my happiness in terms of being one with everyone else? So everyone else is me. So if I'm being happy to what's best for me, it's best for everyone then?
Yes.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Or, relatively speaking, does it help or does it not help?
Only you can tell.
So, do you think the only reason why I'm doing this session with Juan is for me and not for Juan?
No.
What about all the sessions that I do and I do for free? Am I doing them for me and not for the person that I'm helping?
Do it for the people that seek for your help.
Okay, I guess that I'm just sort of confused if you say I do what makes me happy before I help other people. How is Juan? Are you finished with his body in the temples, in the healing temple?
Yes.
Is there anything that he needs to be concerned with?
No.
Were you able to give him a complete healing?
Yes.
And can you help him to understand his scenario with his brother and all the information that his brother had given him?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Is he going to remember any of this session at all? Let's hope that he does. Let's hope that he does. I want us to move away from the scene, and we'd like the subconscious to recede to where it belongs with much love and thanks for the help and information that it has been giving Juan today.